We want to find the angle between line 1 and line 2, and that angle is theta. And we have a formula that says tangent of theta is equal to all of this. Well, m1 I'm letting be the slope of line 1, and m2 is the slope of line 2. And the formula says that tangent of this angle is one slope minus the other over the product of the slopes plus 1. And we put it in absolute value to keep things simple, so it doesn't matter which subtracts which. Basically, this is just keeping us in the first quadrant, which is really all we care about when we're finding the angle between two lines, an acute angle in the first quadrant. And so to get this formula, we can look at the scenario here, and I drew a vertical line to make a right triangle, and we can see that tangent of the sum of these angles, so tangent of alpha plus theta, is this length over this length, but that is exactly the definition of the slope of line 1. If we just look at alpha, tangent of alpha is this length over this length, but that is exactly the definition of the slope of line 2. This is just a trigonometric identity. Tangent of the sum of angles equals all of this. And so we're going to use that trig identity to derive this formula. This is this with some substitutions. So instead of this, I put this because we have that here. And instead of tangent of alpha, I put m2. So instead of tangent of alpha, I have m2. And now we're up to here, and if you think about it, the only thing left to do is solve for tangent of alpha. So it's just algebra from this point on. So if I multiply both sides by the denominator, we get this. If I distribute m1 into the parenthesis, I get this. Now we see we have tangent of theta in two different places. We need to get them on the same side. So I just added this whole term to both sides, which means it's positive on the right. And at the same time, I subtracted m2 from both sides, so it's negative on the left. And then I factored tangent of theta out here, so out to the right, and so that left in parentheses the product of the slopes plus 1. And the only thing left to do now is to divide both sides by this, and we get basically our formula. And that's all there is to it. The only thing that I did from here was switch sides and put the absolute value marks on. But this is our formula. If you want the equivalent formula where the angle is already solved for, then you can take inverse tangent of both sides and it will give you this. But either way, this is how you derive the formula for the angle between two lines.